Hi, I'm Eiza González, and I star in the Gray, and this is Get Wrecked with Straw Hat Goofy.
Wake up, Juju. Time to go to work. All right, can we talk about wake up, I get it, I get it, wake up, I get it, I go with everyone saying I'm up next. It's not my fault that the vocals are gold, that making the haters so upset. My life is a movie, the way that I roll. They saying I'm goofy, but baby, you know I'm making everybody obsessed. Cause we the best, how we get wrecked, and I know we gonna get wrecked, we gonna get wrecked. We gonna get wrecked, we gonna get wrecked. We gonna get wrecked, we gonna get wrecked.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Juju Green, aka Straw Hat Goofy, your movie guy, and I'm sitting here with the lovely and wonderful Eiza González, star of In the Gray. We're going to talk about so many things here, but first, I just got to say how excited I am to talk to you today, because I keep telling you, you're a real one.
You're sweet.
You're so a real one.
I paid him for him to say that. I did. I slipped him $100.
Listen,
a hundy.
Listen, you're going to have to give me that hundy. Yeah. Like, I still haven't got it, y'all, so, like, y'all got to, like, keep it honest.
Check those pockets.
Yeah, check
hands.
the pockets. It's all good. But, like, as soon as we got to talking, I was like, so, fun fact, everyone who's listening and watching, we were supposed to be switched in our chairs.
Yeah.
And she said, I got to be close to the exit. And I was like, that's how you knew you grew up in the hood.
Yeah. You get it, honey.
A Mexican,
like once a Mexican, always a Mexican.
You know what I'm saying? Once a Compton, always a
Yes,
Compton, you know,
right.
for me.
That's right.
So I was like, okay, we gonna get along just fine here. But I am so proud of you. I just want to say this because you are having yourself a year.
Oh,
a year. Mike and Nick and Alice. Mm-hmm. A funny ass film. I got to talk to Lewis about that. Lewis is a very good friend of mine.
He's so sweet.
He's the best.
I like him a lot, and I can't wait to watch him in Mortal Kombat too.
Oh my God! Listen,
He's great.
He gets his due justice in Mortal Kombat.
He's a kind guy too. Like he just always had like an amazing attitude and so optimistic, and he's mad funny. And Mike, Nick, and Alice, he's funny.
What was his name? Like it was like
Roid
Roid
Rage.
Roid Rage Riot.
It's so good. He's really good.
So good. And
that side of the story is really funny.
I love that.
Yeah.
And like, I don't want to spoil it. Everybody see Mike and Nick and Alice. Like it's funny. It's pretty great. But you're having that movie. You got In the Gray, and then you also have I Love Boosters. We actually just talked to Boots Riley yesterday.
Oh, you did? I was just texting with him. He's like, shout out Boots. Shout out I Love Boosters. Like, I got you.
No, we was gonna shout it out regardless.
Yeah.
He's a great friend of the show, great friend of me as well.
I adore
and like
him.
he's super chill.
The best.
Came in with that hat.
Of course he did.
You know what I'm saying?
He's like hiding all those secrets underneath.
That's
He's
where
like
the
Gretchen
secrets are.
Wieners.
That's where all
the secrets hide.
I hear his hats is filled with
secrets. Yeah.
So you got
He's
the
the
movie
inventor of
references
toaster
just like
strudel.
me. Oh, wait, what? Oh, to toaster strudel. Honestly, I would believe that. If that's like a conspiracy theory that we can get going.
What I will back it up.
I'm down for that. He's had a life, man.
He's
like,
dope, man.
he
He's
makes
just
music.
like he's the realest person ever. He just like he's honest, he's transparent, he's a man with a real sense of self.
Yeah.
And I just admire that. And he's just not like in it for the fame or the attention. He's just in it for the right reasons, and it's just really inspiring to be around.
Yeah, you know, I told him, I said, like, no matter what he's doing, whether it's in his music or whether he's like writing a script or just creating like a show, movie, whatever, he never loses this sense of joy. And I feel like a lot of people,
wonderful.
whenever they want to be taken seriously, like in their craft, they like button themselves up and they just like cut the joy out, right?
Yeah.
Him, he's like, nah, this is what I want to tell. This is how I want to tell it, and I'm gonna have a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah, he just lives in this absurd world building, and he just is a character within that world, and he just allows himself to be. He just is, unapologetically himself, and that's just so refreshing, especially when that wonderful brain is plastering that on screen. It just becomes a joy, and just with very meaningful messages.
And I gotta say, like, your role in I Love Boosters, that you go through this monologue at the end that I absolutely adore.
Oh, thank you.
And it's like the combination of like your skill as an actor and his skill as a storyteller, and like
100%.
it was one of those moments that just comes through so
sweet.
great. So
thank you. That scene was like, we shot it, and when he told me that it didn't make it to the movie, it made me really sad, because I think it's such a cool, like, even the concept of what I'm inside. I don't want to spoil it for people, but I'm inside something really dope. And then he like surprised me. He texted me. He said, "Guess what?" I go, "What's that?" He goes, "That scene's like the end credit scene now," and and it actually buttons the movie in a great way. And I was really excited, and I hadn't seen it, and then I heard Ryan Coogler talking about it in an interview. He was like, "That last scene," and I texted Boots. I'm like, "Is Ryan Coogler talking about me?" He's like, "Yeah, he's talking about you, like the scene itself." I was like, "Oh my God!" Like, but the scene I'm in? And he's like, yeah, he found it so dope. I was like, girl fanning. Yeah, I was just like, I was like, wow, coming from him. And, you know, I'm just really honored that he made me part of this incredible story.
Well, he's a good friend of the show as well. And so, like, we've had him on twice now. And
I love that.
He's just one of those guys. It's just like, we describe him as like, you know, whenever like the water's kind of like, you know, rushing and waving, he comes in, everything is still. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know, Poppy said something really interesting today. He's like, she goes, for cis male, it's very Poppy Lou. And she goes, he just doesn't care about taking up space.
Yeah.
He's very confident with who he is. And so we would be on set and he would just let us, we were a bunch of parrots. You know, we were like, we got Kiki and, you know, Kiki.
Yeah.
We got Kiki.
Yeah.
That's enough. You know, we got Kiki and then
Perfect
we got Naomi. And then we got Taylor and then we got Poppy and like, and world rights and like so passionate about what he said. And we're all just like, and I'm like, me growing in Mexico. And then Boots is just holding the monitor in the corner, just like listening to us sort of. But he's great. Like he's just intaking because he doesn't feel like he needs to impose himself. He like knows what he's doing and he's like, great, this is what I think, this is cool. And he's just like taking us in. And that was created a very safe environment, a very safe space to create. And I think I would have never been able to nail that performance if he wouldn't have created that warmth and that built that confidence in me that I could deliver. Because, you know, that monologue itself is pivotal for the story.
100%.
And it's not what you think I'm talking about. It's like, you know, the concept of dialectical materialism traces back to radicalism and a standpoint, a political standpoint. And so the concept of what dialectical materialism is very profound. And I carried a lot of weight with that because he was very passionate about that. So I really wanted to deliver that, but it made it really easy when I watched how he expressed himself, the passion he had for things. And it inspired me a lot while prepping. So when I was there, I just felt like I became a vessel for that excitement and that passion he had to imprint it on the screen.
And it came out beautifully. And
Thank you.
Last thing I'm gonna say before we ask like our big like question that we ask on the show to every guest is I love that movies, and I feel like like Sinners has kind of like started this, speaking of Ryan, is there's a post-credit craze now where like it's no longer a superfluous thing, but it's now part of the narrative and it actually matters to the narrative.
Yeah.
Because you want to talk about Sinners and how like that mid-credit scene
totally
fits.
important.
Like people left the theater without getting that.
And it's such an important.
And it's so important, right? It's one of my favorite scenes. It brings it all together. It's one of my favorite quotes as well.
Because it's just about like how that transcended into the future, you know, and it lived on.
And not only that, it's like, you know, that moment of freedom, like what is it all for? Like that building of the community, right? Like we lost this, but we still have it. Despite the pain, despite everything that we went through in that night,
that's right.
There was that little moment that we fought for, and that's worth everything.
That's right. That's
right. I just watched Hayley Kiyoko's movie, Girls Like Girls.
I can't wait to watch it.
It's incredible.
You know, I worked with Hayley Kiyoko in my first, people think that Baby Driver is my first movie, but I have a little Easter egg. I did Gem and the Holograms with John Chu and Haley and I and Kesha. I'm trying to remember who else it was. We played the Misfits and we had a cameo at the end, talking about post-credit scene. We made a cameo and I met Haley there and I loved them and it was just amazing. Wow. Yeah, and so we were playing the Misfits if the movie, you know, would have been a more successful version. But yeah, that's how I met John Chu. So I've known John Chu for centuries.
Oh my gosh.
He was like directing music videos before that and we just became really good friends and we've been like desperately trying. At one point, you know, he was really interested in me doing In the Heights with him and I had all these reasons why it didn't work out. You know,
I mean, you turned down quite a few things because like you got a lot going on and we could get into
it. Actually, I got like really put in a very complicated situation where like, I wonder if one day I'll talk about it. But yeah, I was just part of another project that sort of dragged me along for a year and a half. And then I ended up losing and the director ended up deciding that after a year and a half of process, just that it wasn't me and I lost, but I had already signed a sort of deal and I lost In the Heights. And it was just heartbreaking for me because I just really wanted to make a musical. I really wanted to do a musical and it was something that was like a huge priority for me. So I hope that at one point I can find something with John Cho. He did say, do you want to audition for Wicked? I said, No, sir, I do not.
You didn't want to be wicked?
What do you mean? I could never sing like that. There's a reality where you can be like, I can sing, and then there's like singing.
Okay.
You know, like let's be real here. Like I want to have faith in me, but that's like another that's delusion.
Okay. I want to say this with all the respect in the world. Like you're nervous about that. Michelle Yeoh was in the movie. And
she was great, but no. I was like, he was like for Glinda or like, I'm like, there's no way. I don't think I've ever hit that high of a pitch, even if I'm screaming for my life.
Okay.
Like this needs to be real. I was like, I'm not going to lose your time, babe. I love you. Read people that can actually sing on that scale. And sure enough, it was like, oh, Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande. This makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
I'm glad I did it. It would have been embarrassing to then find out.
Listen, I think we would have gotten a lovely version of those songs. With you in it. Like, obviously, Cynthia crushes that. But
I mean, I do love when Kiki does a rendition of
that is a slave hymn.
It's so good. So Kiki today, we're like, you're so memeable. It's unbearable.
And it's like natural for her.
Today she said, I don't want the farmers coming from me. Then she's like, we were like, what?
What?
She said, I don't want the farmers coming for me. I don't want to disrespect the farmers. That's what she said. Okay. We were like, and then she said it in such a Kiki way that I was like, this is going to become a meme.
Her delivery is just
she's
always,
brilliant.
Always
I love
incredible.
her.
All right. So now I got to ask you the big question that I ask all the guests that have been on the show.
Yeah.
Because I love getting to know them by way of not just like their favorite movies, but what I like to ask is, what is a movie that changed your brain chemistry?
Oh, this is a hard one. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Look, I like she threw her head back. That means she's
because it's like, I don't want to say a singular answer because it'd be a lie. So I can say like the movie that blew my mind, and I was way too young to watch it. Too young to watch it, and that last scene really hunts me till the end of time. Is Requiem for a Dream.
Oh, how old were you when you watched?
I was really young, like scarily young. Like I must have been 12. 13 when I watched it first.
I mean, that's fine.
Not fine. Definitely not fine. That Jennifer Connelly last scene.
Yeah.
And I didn't really understand it. Yeah. And so it kind of made me feel, it changed my brain chemistry. The whole movie, those scenes, how they were shot, the quick like turnaround of when she's popping pills and the performances, and it's so real and so gritty, and I don't know, it was a moment in time. That movie really was 100%. Like a huge moment in time, and obviously him as a director is like the movie that sort of blew him up, and everyone was super curious about his obscure take in things and interesting diving. But then Tim Burton, The Nightmare Before Christmas.
I told y'all she's a real one.
It's The Nightmare Before Christmas for me.
Yeah.
It's like the first movie as a child that I was like, this is cinema. And I didn't even know what cinema was, but I just couldn't. I watched the making of over and over and over again. And like, by the way, this is really funny, but in my early 20s, when I went through like this stage of like dating all the time, you're just like dating people. It was like a trademark where I would force people to watch The Nightmare Before Christmas with me and watch the making of, because I was like, you don't understand. You don't understand what stop motion is. You just don't understand the level of like, this is, and people would be like, you're a sociopath. And I think that's probably why I kept dating, because they were like, because they would leave terrifying. Like after seeing it. Which is crazy.
That is interesting though.
But it really took a turn for me after I was like, wow, who are these people behind these movies that have this level of passion to create this level of art, to take years in the making. Right. So yeah, that was it. And I think that ultimately Fincher became sort of my, like, Fincher movies blow my mind. But then again, I could go for hours of the directors. But those are movies that really like stuck with me when I was young.
These are really good picks. And I like how you have a Requiem for a Dream, which, by the way, seeing Marlon Wayans in that one just completely like wrecked me. It's because, again, I watched it way too young as well. Yeah. And I knew Marlon Wayans from the Wayans show, the Wayans Brothers show, right? And so seeing him go from that.
Fantastic, yeah.
And then again, big fan of him.
Amazing that he got the chance to do that.
And that was,
because that's sort of the dream of an actor. You sort of have this idea of him because he was doing that specific type of thing. And then he takes a complete different turn in that film. And I wish, more actors like him got the opportunity to do it more often. It's a very small handful of actors that get allowed to jump from one type of character to the other. It's very small.
I get excited when I see things like that.
Yeah.
But then like shouting that and then in the same breath saying Nightmare Before Christmas is like, that's a goated like answer. Like, and then the fact that you use that as like a dating metric too.
It's
like
so bizarre. And I could tell, by the way, it was 100% a dating metric, because if you had no interest, I was like, how can you not find this fascinating?
Yeah.
And not just because the movie, I was like, you got to understand there's a deeper sense of it, and like this nostalgia for this death concept of like transcending and not having still purpose for life and losing the spirit of excitement. Like there's so many messages in that movie that I'm like, if you don't have the eye to read it, you ain't meant to date me.
I also see, and I know a lot of people are like, I know you're spoken for, but I know a lot of people are writing that down. Like, all right, they're gonna come up to you like, yo, Eiza,
what's up?
Nightmare Before Christmas, my favorite movie, girl.
Love that movie. Yeah,
it's incredible. My metric for dating when I was like, just out in the streets was Your Name.
Your Name.
Yes.
Wow,
have you heard of this movie?
Yes.
I love that movie.
That's a great choice.
It's one of my perfect movies. Like one of my 4 perfect movies.
It really is. Wait, that's a really good choice. Why? Why is that?
Well, one, I'm a big fan of romance.
Yeah.
I love.
Oh, are
love,
you?
Right. Like
bring back yearning.
We need
bring back yearning. We're not yearning enough.
Yeah. Listen. Thank you. We need that more of that Bridgerton.
I need to yearn.
Yes. Thank you. So see,
I just want to sit there and like. I'm like, where are these movies?
Give me more movies where people are just kind of like awkwardly sitting there trying to like articulate their feelings, but they just can't.
It's not that simple.
It's not. It's never
not
that simple. It's never that simple.
What do you want? What do you want? It's not that simple.
I want you.
Yeah, I
forever.
Want the pink. Yeah. In a house. You got it,
We get it. So like,
give us the Notebook.
I like one, it's that part of it where I say like, how much yearning are we gonna have in this relationship that I hope that we can have,
because you probably like unpack it afterwards and you sort of
Exactly.
understand where they stand as an emotional individual.
And I get a lot of interesting answers too.
I
Like
can
some
see
people have
that.
watched it, and again, I have a 100% success rate on that movie. They watch it, they love it. That's already a foregone conclusion.
So that's your go-to.
That's my go-to.
Wow,
for that one.
noted.
And so so like, hey.
Yeah.
Watch Your Name with me.
That's romantic. I like that.
And plus, it's just a great story. Animation's
It's beautiful.
Incredible. It's a beautiful
movie.
story.
Yeah.
So Your Name is like my main one.
Yes.
But yeah. But we could talk about movies all day. And I know you love anime. She loves anime, guys.
Love anime.
We'll get into that a little bit later, but we have to talk about In the Gray. It's something that I love about this movie is that you're at the forefront of this movie, a Mexican woman.
Thank you.
Forefront of this, and you're bossing around 2 attractive, very hunky white
Are
men.
they? Attractive?
I don't know. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah.
Damn,
yeah.
I think every beholder, though, sees those.
All the beholders are beholding that beholdenness.
Exactly.
We can behold that beauty.
Listen, that poster is just whoa.
Yeah, it's like,
so
I'm
many
in.
attractive people in this poster, right? But you're literally at the forefront of this. You're in charge the whole time. And the thing that like really got me was that, Mexican woman, your arch nemesis in this movie is a Spanish man.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, there's like so many like geopolitical things happening between those two. And so I just want to like get your take on just kind of like, reading that on the script, and then just kind of like, did you know you were portraying that? Or do you think that's just like me reading like a little bit too into that?
I don't think that anything happens for casualty. I think that everything has a reason to be. I do find that culturally, obviously, there's an interesting push and pull with between Spanish and Mexicans.
Right.
Just open a history book.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
I did my research.
Yeah, we did get colonized by them, but it's funny because I do think there's an energetic thing that comes with those 2 cultures, regardless, because they're cultures with a strong sense of self for different reasons historically. So I do think that it's interesting, and obviously Carlos Bardem, who's super talented, obviously Javier's brother.
Yes.
And just one of the most talented actors in Spain, and just a brilliant activist as well, which I really admire and respect, was such a good partner in crime. But I think that Guy, the way that he approaches films is from curiosity. And he always has been someone that, in my personal experience, is not, I don't like to say this because it sounds confusing, because I'm not saying he's immoral or moral. He just likes to live in the gray. And I think this movie is a perfect representation of how Guy approaches storytelling and life itself. There's no like right or wrong. He'll sit there and he loves like intellectual debate. And so he'll ask you like, where do you stand? Where's your standpoint in Yemen? Yeah, you know, you're like,
wow.
Whoa. And then you'll be like, okay. And he'll be like historically so accurate. And he knows a lot about history. He's someone incredibly curious. And he just wants to see what you think. He's never going to judge you. He's always going to impose more questions and questions and questions. So I think he's always like sort of trading that line of like, there is no right or wrong. There's no good or bad. There is just conflict. And there's gray area, and gray area is something that exists. And so I think that for a character as immoral as Rachel Wilde in the film, which is who I interpretate, I basically I just interpret this woman that is relentless, and that she doesn't fall in the conformation of society. And she is a woman who uses her intellect, her smarts, her beauty, her anything that she can use in her advantage to achieve what she needs to achieve. And it's so devoid of shame. And I don't think we get to see female characters like this often, as much as, you know, we would like to. I mean, I Care a Lot was one of my favorite films because it was a movie where everyone was completely immoral and there was no like redemption. There's no intention to get to a redemption state. And Rachel just has zero desire to go into redemption. She just is like, who is as immoral as I am to get to what I need to get? And I think that it imposes the fact that he chose a woman to play that character. It makes it extra interesting because we're used to seeing men sort of playing moral characters, but we have these pretense ideas of like women and what they should do and what the right way to act on things is. And he's just like, let's make her a woman and see what happens. And I really found it cathartic because I personally grew up in Mexico where you know, women are raised very differently, very much under the religious zeitgeist, and you are too open-minded, or you're too expressive, or you're speaking too loud, or don't talk too much. There's a saying in Spanish that says, calladita te ves más bonita. When you're quiet, you look prettier. And it's something that we get repeated a lot when we're young. I hope not much now, but so my personality is the total opposite of Rachel. And it's something that I fight because I fall back into that sort of like, maybe I should just be quiet. Maybe I should be small. Maybe I should just not impose myself. And he was like, throw that shit out, girl. Like, go for it. Like, just be strong, bold, like assertive when you're speaking. Like, that's the character. She's monotone. She's not trying to take up space. She just is so incredibly confident in who she is that she irradiates attention and drags attention to her. So it's like the perfect balance of a performance, which I'd never gotten the chance to play before, where like she's doing nothing, but she's doing everything at once, and everyone's just looking at her. Yeah.
It's like, it's the type of character that as soon as she walks into the room, everyone's like right there.
Yeah. Right? And it's power. Like everything for her is used to her advantage. It's power, her looks, even the way she presents physically, like the way she dresses, the way she, does her hair, her makeup, the way she speaks. Every little detail was thought through, even like the way that I'm like making things. If you look, like everything has a sort of measured movement. Everything is that, like staccato. And I kept thinking staccato of like, like she is she's 17 steps ahead. Yeah, it's precision.
Yeah, I love it. Especially like the scenes where like you're making like coffee, you're making drinks, and like this being, I love that. It almost feels like ASMR videos. There's like a satisfying quality to it because she is so precise. And like during that scene where you're taking charge and like everyone's listening, it's effectiveness, right? And that your character keeps talking about the fact I'm very effective at what I do, right? And
I'm a nuisance.
Yeah, I'm very good at being a nuisance. I said that's a bar.
Yeah, it is. I love that line.
Yeah,
it's like I've been told I can be quite a nuisance. I like find that line so good because it's like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And I will do whatever it fucking takes.
You're wearing that nuisance crown
so
proudly.
It's like, look at me and listen, because I ain't fucking around. It's the best way to say it. And I just love that. I'm like, whoa.
You know what line I love that you say in this, and I really want to ask you about this, is every time you say, I love you.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you
I
know,
love you.
you want to talk about kind of like fit in, your character doesn't want to fit into the conformity of like what other people expect her to be.
Yeah.
Here you are, boss ass chick, right? Putting everybody in their place. And you ended on this line where it's like monotone. Like it's almost
monotone,
like
yeah.
It's like you're playing with like, oh, you see me as like this perfect, pretty lady. Like you think I'm, what was the line you said? You said, you think I'm naive.
Yeah.
I love you.
I love you.
And it's like, no, I just owned your ass.
Yeah.
Right? Like, can you talk to me about like where did that come from? Because I feel like that is such an important like pillar of your character, like that little moment.
You know, I think that was big on Guy, where, you know, Guy had known me by then for a while, and I think he recognizes something in me, and not to like toot my own horn, but because that's not to say toot my own horn, but I'm very intuitive. I'm a very smart person, and I attest like smartness to curiosity. I am curious. I'm always gonna want to know, learn something. Like there's always room for expansion, and I think he recognizes that in me, and so he always is like, Eiza is just like, you think you got what she's doing, but she's just always 7 steps ahead of you. And I think that's why Rachel gelled well with me in that regard, is these ideas that people could have of me and then you being completely wrong about it. And I think that Rachel is self-aware enough to be like, I know what you're thinking of me. And she's not, she was sort of, you know, the monotone is really important, because I don't know if people will be like, either she has no nuance as an actress or they'll understand that it's a choice. You know, it is someone that is just sort of finds herself in a type of like heartbeat that is never it's never peaking, you know. I'm never sort of in a state of distress even when I should be in distress. And I think that those people are kind of sociopathic, and she is slightly sociopathic because she is kind of a narcissist, but the narcissism works in her advantage in that business, and in a business that rewards everyone else, she just thinks, well, why would I not do it? And I thought, wow, this is fucking terrifying. I could never see myself being like this. I'm just like, hi, sorry. I'm sorry. I'll say like sorry 17 times. I'm so sorry. Like, did it bump you? I'm sorry. Like, I'm someone that I don't know. Like, I don't know what it is, and I actually hate that part of me. I'm always like scared of taking up space. And it was really cathartic to play someone completely, I mean, truly more opposite could not be of who I am.
You know, I'm gonna make a sports comparison for you, because I got the perfect one.
Wow,
for
okay.
you. So your character I would describe as like a Steph Curry. Right?
Right.
So my favorite player of all time is Kobe Bryant.
I mean, mine too.
Yeah, let's see.
Kobe, yeah.
Kobe, hey, let's go.
Yeah.
R.I.P. to the GOAT, man.
Yeah, the GOAT.
But he has this great interview where he's describing Steph Curry, right? And he says that Steph Curry is a stone cold killer. Go back to the
really is a stone cold killer.
Sociopath of it all, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's a stone cold killer. What makes him a killer is that he's not up or down. He's not thinking about what happened before. He's not thinking about what he's going to do next. He's just there. And you can't rattle somebody like that.
It's
right?
incredible when you have that power. I think that I truly wish, I'm so Latin. I am so Latin. I find myself, I'm like, fuck, Eiza, you got to get your emotions under control. Like, I am so Latin. And the older I'm getting, the worse I'm getting, actually.
Hey, you got to lean into it at this point.
But I'm like, God, I really wish I was this sort of stone cold killer where you could not tell what is happening with me. I'm just like a natural oversharer. I'm like, this happened. And you're like, who are you, ma'am? Like, who are you? What are you doing here? But I'm just like I'm a very emotionally volatile person, and I find myself that when I'm acting, is in the only moments that I'm under control of my emotions.
I think it's the fact that you can be so emotional, though. It's like, you know where to put it. That way, when you're doing your performances, it's like almost like compartmentalizing all these different types of things, and you know how to bring them out because you felt them at their highest highs, right?
Yeah, I feel things very, very vividly, like very strongly. But I don't know. I black out when I'm acting. I black out, and I just go through this emotional roller coaster of, you know, imposter syndrome, and then you're just like, oh my God, is everyone thinking I'm a freaking loser here? And do you think I'm a terrible actress? Oh my God. And then I'm like, oh, fuck, am I gonna forget the line? And then all of a sudden it just like, I go into the void
Yeah.
and I'm just in it. And then I'm just so synced in and it's incredible.
She's in the domain expansion, everybody.
Yeah.
You're in the domain expansion.
I'm in the
for
domain
sure.
expansion. That's exactly right.
Something else I need to talk about is I'm gonna wrap this back around to some One Piece stuff real quick.
I love
Sorry,
this.
Craig. So he knows. So the poster is, I love poster art.
Okay.
And I think this poster is so underratedly powerful, and I don't think people are really clocking what's happening in that poster.
100%.
So you have two like macho male leading men actors in the forefront, but they're out of focus. You're behind them in focus. And I think that's very clever, because usually what we're used to seeing is those like leading men kind of like taking up the space and everything, when in fact they answer to you and they do it without question.
Yes.
You're the one running everything.
Calling me mom.
Calling you mom.
Mom.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mom.
And you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of that scene from Game of Thrones, Cersei Lannister,
Yes.
where she says, "This is power. Power is power."
That's true.
And she does it so effortlessly.
Yeah. Well, she's a
that's-
perfect, by the way, great example. She's a perfect reference for this as well. I really looked, because she was like the queen of monotone performance, but like so commanding.
Yes.
Cersei Lannister is just a character that, you know, and obviously working with Dan and Dave, I like pick their brains constantly. I'm like, what did you think? Why did you approach this performance like this? Why was it this? Why was it like that? And I do find those types of performances, I don't think people realize those are the hardest.
Yeah.
Those are really, really hard.
Yeah.
Because, you know, overly expression, emotion, and going through it, and, you know, really going big about things, sometimes kind of easier. It's like it's a little bit of a cop out.
Yeah.
You know, these are big emotional scenes, but when you have to sort of convey with almost nothing, I don't know. I always try. I don't know if I nail it,
You know
but
what
I
mean?
try.
I think you nail it. Like, I
Thank
think
you.
like from the amount of jobs that you get and the quality of the work that you put in, I think you nail it. So I'm telling you that right now.
Thank you. I will take that and run with it,
I
Juju.
got you. Now I know we have to wrap it up, but I do have to say my One Piece thing, because I have
Please
to
tell
wrap the
me.
poster back up to it. So that poster reminds me of, like, you have these two characters, and I love that in the movie they're always constantly like next to each other
Yeah.
while you're doing your thing, right?
Yeah.
So in the world of One Piece, Straw Hat Luffy, the captain of the Straw Hat Pirates, he
Yeah.
has these two characters, Sanji and Zoro.
Yeah.
They're referred to as the wings of the Pirate King.
Okay.
They're his two top dogs, and they're the ones who are like, when things are going south, they're the ones who are going to do everything for Luffy to like
so
clear
it's
that path.
so similar.
And it's very similar, because you're the captain of this ship, so to speak,
Totally.
like Luffy, and these are your wings who are making sure that you're getting
Do I
the
need to
things
watch
done.
One Piece?
You do need to watch One Piece.
Does it is it gonna scratch my itch of the type of stuff that I like?
From what you described to me, was, by the way, can you like tell the people like what you like grew up watching? Because you
Yeah.
said like Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z, yeah, Ranma and a half. Was that
Yeah.
named the same here?
Yeah. By the way,
Ranma.
So
So ahead of-
DaCosta loves that one too.
Really, so ahead of its time. My
Yeah,
God,
I know.
Like if
She
you
put me
rewatch it
onto
now,
that
you're
one.
like, whoa, this is my. And I was watching it. I was like, just this guy that gets wet and becomes a woman. Like, and I was probably 7 years old or 6, and I was obsessed with Ranma. Sakura Card Captors was one of my favorite as well, and then Cowboy Bebop was
Yeah.
like my
Cowboy Bebop is
my-
like the truth for sure.
my like one. But yeah, like growing up, like Akira. I just loved graphic novels. My brother's way older than me. He's gonna hate me for saying that. No, but like 13 years older than me, and so I
he
always
put you on. So
yeah,
that's up.
I had his like hand me downs, and so all his anime or comic books or graphic novels, and obviously this is the 90s,
Yeah,
so
of course.
obviously we're not having like iPads, we're having a real graphic
like
novel.
actual
Or like
physical
Peanuts. Like
media.
I had all the Snoopy Peanuts, like you know that were rectangular.
Yeah.
Did you guys have those?
I had
like
those back in the day.
rectangular.
Yeah. As soon as you said Peanuts, I was like, I know exactly what you're talking
I
about.
love those, and so I had like just a collection of those. So I just really loved anime when I was young. My introduction to the arts was very interesting. It was like it started with drawing. And I would draw anime, and I had a group of friends in my school, and we were quite nerdy, and we just got together to do cartoon of like fairies, like Asian anime inspired fairies, and we did a bunch of those. And then as I grew, I started to understand that I had a passion for the arts, but I couldn't really understand. But it definitely was through introducing anime, and I would stay up at night because Cowboy Bebop was like really R-rated.
Yeah.
And there was this network in Mexico called Locomotion, and it only played only played anime.
Okay,
and
we had
I
Toonami.
What was it called?
Toonami.
Yeah, and I was obsessed. And so I wish, it's just like good old 90s vibe.
See.
Like I really love graphic
You
novels.
were a weeb, and I love this.
Yeah, I love it.
Big
And then
old-
video games, which,
Of course.
big Zelda girl.
That is see, I was a Mario guy.
Mario?
Sonic and Mario were
Sonic.
my God.
Mine was like Zelda, Ocarina of Time, and Majora's Mask.
I love
Favorites.
Ocarina of Time.
I have them both still.
I used to fish all the time on that game.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Oh my God, fishing.
The fishing took up all my time.
By the way, I got on Amazon.
we're taking up a lot of time.
It's okay. It's okay. Wait, listen, people are feeling it because people like it.
Yeah.
But I found, I didn't. I'm not going to take credit. My brother found, this is actually, nothing's made me this excited. I'm even getting giddy.
Okay.
He's like, I got home. He goes like peeks to my door because he's living right now with me, my mom and my brother, and he like peeks through the door like the good old times when we were children, like looks over, and I'm like, what do you got there? He goes, guess what Uncle Jeff, he says, Uncle Jeff got me, Jeff Bezos, Amazon Prime. He goes, guess what Uncle Jeff got me?
Okay.
And I'm like, that's funny because he didn't. He's just like orders on Amazon Prime. So every time he gets something, he calls Uncle Jeff brought him something.
That's crazy.
And I go, what is it? He goes, I found this open source like Game Boy, but it's open source, and so you can have more than 18,000 video games on this little thing. So you click it to it. I'm gonna send you a photo.
Please.
You click and you have Atari, you go down Super Nintendo, and then you click and then it opens all the games, and then it has everything. Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, everything. I went back to like original Nintendo. I played Donkey Kong. Like I couldn't believe, and it has everything. Like I'm a big Silent Hill girl,
Yeah,
so
okay.
it had PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3,
On this
all the
one
Resident
thing?
in one thing. And then you just need an SSD card like this small, and you carry it everywhere, and it just has more than 18,000 video games.
I need to close my mouth. 'Cause
I'm
I'm like,
telling you.
What?
Yes.
That exists?
It does, and I have it. And I was like, I order it. And I called Uncle Jeff.
Uncle
I was
Jeff.
like, AKA
Hit your boy
Amazon
up.
Prime. I was like, get me that. And it's the best thing I've ever bought.
Okay.
Maybe detrimental for my career
Okay.
when I'm on set. But it's incredible. So but when I'm telling you, it has like Atari.
Okay, yeah, that's honestly such a deep cut that I don't even think the kids who listen to this podcast know.
It had the
what we're talking
first
about.
Miami Vice. Like it's just incredible. Like
See.
all these video games that you're just like GTA, it's incredible.
Okay, so last thing I'm gonna say, because we can get into this video game conversation over. I'm gonna put you onto a video game that should be put onto your open source thing.
Okay.
It's such a weird fucking game.
What is it
I'm gonna
called?
It's called Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Conker's
It's
Bad
called Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Fur Day?
It's Fur Day.
Oh, Fur Day.
Yeah, because he's a squirrel.
Oh, I love this.
And it's a platform game, not unlike Mario 64.
You like sweet games.
I love sweet.
I
listen.
like dark, obscure things.
No, hold on.
I'm on like repeating Silent Hill 2 right now, and
Yeah.
I'm living. I'm like, my boyfriend's like, you're a sicko, and I'm just sitting there in the dark at like 3 a.m, just
Yeah.
like, I'm like, triangle head, motherfucker. I'm like, he's like, you're sick.
Let me cook for you real quick because it sounds sweet. It sounds
Okay.
sweet. But the game, it was the first rated M game after Mortal Kombat that I ever
Whoa.
played. My grandmother bought it because she saw a cute squirrel. Big mistake. It's
Oh.
literally, the story is about a squirrel who gets so drunk at a bar one night that he tries to wander home. He gets lost into this like weird like Mario
This is
fantasy world.
Brilliant.
And then like there's like these levels. There's a level where like, this is gonna sound so bad. There's a level where like he fights a giant shit monster. He fights a giant shit monster.
Shit monster?
A shit monster.
Like
he's
poop?
called the Great Mighty Pooh.
I'm obsessed.
And he sings opera, so he says, "I'm the Great Mighty Pooh.
I'm
and I'm
obsessed.
gonna throw my shit."
Is this
at you."
PlayStation? What
this
is
is
it?
Nintendo 64.
I have one.
Okay, then please
have the
find this
64.
game. You will have a blast.
How do I find it?
You're probably gonna have to eBay it. Or,
I will. You don't mind me.
We're gonna go to Frankenstein's or something.
Okay,
I'm
love.
gonna put you on a Frankenstein's.
Wait, did you ever play this video game? I just remember, and I had it on my computer. We could be here for hours. Sorry, guys. But this video game, it was like an evil Alice in Wonderland.
Oh my
What
God,
was
why
it
does that
called?
sound so familiar?
It was like this video game online. He's gonna find it
Yeah,
right now.
fact check that.
It was like she would fall into the rabbit hole. She would follow the rabbit, and
Mm-hmm.
she'd fall into the rabbit hole. It was like a dark, twisted, original version of Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
And I was obsessed with that too. That was in my computer when we had the Macintosh, the colored ones.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah.
The
Remember
Apple,
those.
like the big ones. I had the purple one, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd sit there for hours. I'm a weirdo. I do love video games. I don't know. I love things that spark my brain. I've always been bad at like open worlds.
Yeah. Oh, I love a good open world.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I need like
I think you would go crazy on Skyrim.
Skyrim. I heard that that's great.
That I wasted 7 years.
That's the thing that I don't have that time.
Yeah, no.
So I'm like, give me what is it called?
Is it Alice Madness Returns?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Madness Returns.
Okay.
It's good.
Okay.
It's good.
I'm
That and Darkness. There's something called Darkness, right? There's like this is on the PlayStation video game. But yeah, I just like, I love a good old, what I love about Silent Hill is like it has all the like absurd killing and all that, but it's all about thinking. It's similar to Zelda in the way that you have to crack codes. You found it? What was it called?
Yeah, so the other one is Welcome to Dark Wonderland.
Oh,
is that the
so
one?
good.
Okay, wow.
Welcome to
that's the one.
I didn't know that was like a genre.
I'm telling you. I like dark stuff.
Okay.
Like,
So
but yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
just
tell
like
you,
love like
if you
something
like that,
thinking.
If you like that, play Conker's Bad Fur Day. There is a Silent Hill X like type of level that you could play where you like shoot zombies.
Oh, I love
There's a Saving Private Ryan level.
Whoa.
There's a whole like literally there's an entire cutscene where a squirrel, like it's the opening scene to Saving Private Ryan, shot for shot.
No way.
Shot for shot.
With the squirrel?
With the squirrel.
This is incredible.
And then like they're fighting against Nazi teddy bears.
Oh, I'm obsessed with
And
this.
then there's also like a xenomorph level, a xenomorph
Yeah,
boss
Xeno-
fight. There's
yeah.
a Matrix level.
Wait, this is incredible.
It's literally like
Nintendo 64.
Nintendo 64.
I'm
Conker's
gonna
Bad Fur Day.
like scour
Yeah.
the world to find this video game.
Don't even get me started on Sonic Adventure 2 as well.
You know, I watched Sonic growing up, but I wasn't big into the video game.
Oh no. Okay, if you're gonna play any Sonic video game,
I think I've ever
if you're gonna play,
Or have I?
if you're gonna play any Sonic, play Sonic Adventure 2.
Adventure
That's what they
2,
introduced.
okay.
That's where they introduced Shadow the Hedgehog that
Okay.
Keanu Reeves
Yeah,
just
Shadow,
played in the
of
movie.
course. I mean,
But-
I'm familiar with the characters.
In
yeah.
this, so watch that movie. I was obsessed because they got everything from the game like in that movie. But what was the best part about the game is that you can either choose to play the heroes, which is Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles.
Yeah.
Each one has their own type. So Sonic's like does the racing levels where you have to get to the beginning to the end.
Oh, I love this.
Tails was in a mech suit, so you're shooting in a giant mech. All these robots.
This is what 64 as well.
This is so it was Sega
Super.
Dreamcast, if you remember that.
Yes.
And then they brought it to the GameCube once the Dreamcast. Like,
Do you guys have those BR like red
always
that you
wanted
would
those, but we
put
couldn't
it
afford
on?
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those was cool, but they like came and went like the GameCube.
yeah.
GameCube came and went. I also had the GameCube. I don't fuck with the GameCube. It was not for me.
Wait. How are you on Super Smash Brothers though?
You know what? I was not really good at Super Smash. I was really good at Mario Party.
Okay, we can Mario
Incredibly
Party
good.
it up.
I love all those like little competitions
Yeah.
within the competition.
Yep.
I love those, and I'm
Friendships end off of Mario Party.
slightly competitive. So
Friendships
like,
be ended.
I would, playing. I don't know if you've ever played Codenames, but when I played Codenames with my friends, they're like, "You are a menace, and this is probably not good for our friendship." Because it's all about Codenames is all about like you have to code. It puts you like it's like a battleship type of like board, and there's words, and then there's a battleship card in a sense of your team blue and I'm team red, and
Right.
we have 7 red cards and you have blue, and you have to find one word to correlate as many words as you possibly can.
Okay.
So I code you a word and I say 3, which means I'm coding for 3 cards. Cinematic. And then you have to think, okay, what of all these cards could be cinematic tied, but you don't want to like code the other team's cards.
Got it.
And so you have to be so strategic and thoughtful and like precise on the words that you're choosing. And I get really rattled because I'm like, can you not think that word? They're like, woman.
Is this like
I'm
a
not in
key
your
play
br-
teams on this one?
Yeah,
too?
it's teams, and it always ends up in tears. And I'm like, it's probably a sign that I should never play this. But case in point, it returns back to In the Gray when I was doing
We brought
Rachel.
it back, y'all. We
Yeah,
brought it
I was like, this makes sense. This obsessiveness with like words and precisiveness and all that. It really is embedded in my system. It's just waiting to be awakened. It just comes out in code names, video games, and then I guess Rachel Wild.
We're back?
Yeah.
Hi. Welcome to the Video Game Podcast.
Yeah.
we asked
Truly.
Black Bear to give us 10 extra minutes of conversation.
To just talk about video games.
To just talk about it because
Yeah.
I love talking to you. Like,
Aw, you're
like,
sweet.
so
Me too.
down to earth. And
Thank
like
you.
we were talking about like Fortnite.
Yes.
And like Fortnite and Roblox and just
Yeah.
how like the kids today are just kind of like
Yeah.
so savvy into it, and like I still don't feel like I have a handle on it yet.
Do you know when? something that really stuck with me is I have a nephew and he's now almost 14.
Mm-hmm.
When he was little, and this like really stuck with me. I was like, oh God. I showed him a frame of me and my father when I was little as a baby, and he must have been like 7, and he went like this to the frame.
Okay.
The photo frame. He went like this, like an iPad.
Yeah.
And I was like, an iPhone. I was like, no, honey, this is just a frame. And it just shocked me because I was like, you're 7 years old and you're already doing this. Like, we're wiring kids in a different way, and it's really hard to keep it under control. I have this rule with my brother where like, I'm not going to give him any technology, anything. You want to do that? That's great. I ain't going to be ever the auntie that you're like, can you get? No.
You know what? I tried that. And
That's
then
hard.
And then the school, they have this required
For
like app for
iPads.
iPads. You gotta have this thing called iReady, and
like
you'll be
that.
left behind if you don't have it.
I don't like that.
And so now I'm
bring
like,
back
dang it.
books.
Yeah, bring back. You want to know something?
Bring back writing.
You've met my daughter. You want to know something
Cursive.
crazy? Cursive. It
Learn how
doesn't
to
matter in the long run,
cursive.
but we need cursive back.
What's
it helped
happening?
a lot. So this is what happened with my daughter, and I kid you not, I smacked my forehead. I've never done that before. I'm getting her more into reading. What she loves the Dogman book. She has every Dogman book, and it's great for like introductory reading, right? But I want to get into more stuff without pictures.
Yeah.
So I have the Harry Potter books that I've had since I was a kid.
Oh, cool.
I said we're gonna read Harry Potter. We're gonna do some Percy Jackson. We're gonna do these other things.
Cool.
I said, read like a chapter. She's a good reader. I said, read a chapter, right? And then come back and tell me like what you read. Let's comprehend some things. Let's have a conversation.
Yeah.
It took her, I kid you not, 2 hours to read 3 pages. You know what she told me?
Span.
She said, oh, that's too long. That's too hard.
Wow. But it's true. Their
kid.
brains are just wired differently.
Yeah.
It makes me sad, but I do think that I find it irresponsible that schools, I'm going to get in trouble, but I just find it irresponsible that they're just like asking kids for iPads. Like it's not even good for their eyesight development.
Yeah.
Like no kid should be looking at a screen for that long, let alone like as an obligation of school. I don't like that.
It's up to the parents. Like I'm really strict on screen time.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, hey, you could play Roblox for like 30 minutes. Like if you're good, an hour, cut off.
I think I'm going to take my kids to a farm.
Hey.
In like the middle of buttfuck nowhere. And I'm going to be like, we're going to milk some cows today. We ain't going to do none of that.
I love this.
Don't like that.
Every kid should milk a cow.
We should bring back yearning, books,
and cow
milking a cow,
Yep.
and cursive.
And please, like, can we like play basketball in the streets again?
Yes.
Because like I remember like, and it's probably the same for you. I remember because we existed on the like precipice of the internet where we went outside.
We totally did.
We went to each other's houses,
Yeah.
but we also went in to play video games for a little bit and said, hey, who wants to race outside?
And then you're like, yes, let's go and go out.
Yeah, and kids don't do that anymore.
I know. It really like makes me think, what am I going to do when I'm a mother? And then I'm like, well, I don't have to think about that now.
No,
so
you're good.
let's just put that thought for later. Let me focus on filming movies.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. You play the characters who are like that, and then you just adapt that into your everyday life.
Yeah, and I mean, it's interesting because I think that, for instance, I think about it at my business a lot. Like my niece, like my cousin's daughter wants to be an actress, and and I remember really my attention span of being able to learn this amount of scenes.
Yeah.
That is part, I mean, people are like, I want to be an actor, or like, I want to be, part of being an actor or being in the industry is reading, and actually reading a lot.
Big part.
A lot and all the time. And
Yeah.
you have to constantly read and read and read. And like, it's breaking down dialogue and breaking down like understanding what you're talking about. And that takes a lot of reading. And when I was young, you know, I started in the business when I had to do soap operas and I had to memorize 20 scenes a day. And so that my brain became a sponge because I was so young and I'm learning so much dialogue. So by the time that I have kind of like a photographic memory, I can really look. I mean, I wouldn't be able to work with Guy Ritchie if I didn't, because Guy Ritchie loves, and you know, it's really well known. Everyone talks about it, where he likes to rewrite the scene right before. And I want to do some justice for Guy because everyone talks about it in a negative way of like, and I get it, everyone has different styles of working, but he does it to elevate the dialogue into a place that feels natural to you, that it feels like it's delivering exactly what we're looking for in the scene. And if it's feeling wonky, he's just never going to do it. And so he will rewrite every scene just because he wants to better every scene. And especially that scene that I have with him where I'm making the drink.
Yeah.
That was 10 pages of a monologue.
Yeah.
And he changed them the 20 minutes before filming.
Wow.
And also, not only did he change them, he decided he wanted me to be making this very fancy drink. Which I think it all started, and I think it's pretty meta. I think it stemmed from that viral moment that went down with the cast of House of Dragons, where they go.
Wait a minute. Spagliato.
Espagliato.
Wait a minute. I was literally seeing that, and I saw, and that's the first thing that came to my mind when I said, "Oh,
that's
Negroni,
that drink." Yeah, Negroni. Spagliato.
Ooh, stunning.
Yes. Ooh, stunning.
I said that when I saw that written on the screen.
I think it just had happened. And so we were like, he was like, what about that drink? And I was like, excuse me, sir, I have no clue. I don't even know what this drink has, what it requires.
Yeah.
And then the more he Googled it, the more he wanted it because there was more things to do, like grinding beans and doing this and the spicy whatever. And I was freaking out. I was having full, sweats because I'm having, and then he wants me to do it movements precise, but then dialogue precisely with assertiveness, no weird like intonations or like, he wanted like monotone, straight to the point, cold killer. And I'm just like, it's like juggling and it's like going like this, you're just like, I can't juggle all these things at once. I need at least a little bit of heads up to start this. And there was like, good luck with that. And that was super uberly challenging, but we were able to sort of nail it.
And that was day of.
And that was like day of and like the first week.
Oh, wow.
It was like probably day 3.
So that set the tone for what was gonna be like.
That's the beauty about when I worked with Guy personally. I can't speak for others, but from there we knew who Rachel was. We were just like, that's who Rachel is. Rachel is this super fancy, loves a, Negroni, spagliato. And she's that fancy, but she's also like, it means nothing to her. It's just, her brain is like an overtime, and that's how she just sort of functions to kind of coexist. And she always feels cool, calm, and collected. And it just gave us the inner life of Rachel. But I would have never been able to memorize those 10 pages if I was looking at an iPad my entire youth.
Yeah.
I would have probably not had the retention, able to retain that level of information in my brain. If you really are like interested in the arts, like let's bring it back to the basics. Like steer away. Don't let like thinking that cool of like who's trendy at the moment or what social media tells you to is what you need to do into get into the industry, because it's just not, it really, that I think will be a fab and it'll go away.
I'm glad you said that, because like, I as someone who literally came up on the internet and I have this job because of I put myself out there in that way,
which is incredible.
It's great, right? And so like, and I'm super appreciative of that. But even then, the way I kind of blew up, like I used to do these videos that were like very detail oriented, like, oh, let me break down things you didn't see in Spider-Verse, or let me like point out Easter eggs and these type of things.
That's
like
cool.
very like analyzing film and stuff like that. And there would come a time where I felt like I was like being placed in this like kind of like box based off of what's happening in the moment. And I'm not like that. Like, I don't want to keep doing these things. So like I had to like leave behind certain content styles that people still ask for to this day. And I'm glad that they love it. But at the same time, like I want to expand myself in what I talk about and how I talk about it. Right. So, as far as like my job, like I am now like very fulfilled and like telling other people's stories.
That's incredible.
Talking to you and like picking your brain about like where you came from. What are you watching?
It's inspiring,
like,
when you sit with people and you like listen to their experiences and what tickles their fancy and what makes them tick. And I think that I just get so geeky about those things. I remember growing up watching the Actors Studio, and that's why I ended up going to Strasbourg, because I just grew up watching every interview of actors and explaining how they made it, how they got here. And I thought, wow, what an incredible experience. I watched this person. And that was kind of the birth of basically these types of podcasts, right? It was like the Actors Studio was sort of the root of it, where you really had a chance to sit down with, Philip Seymour Hoffman and listen to what made him feel certain ways or what scared him as a performer. And I think people crave that connection and that humanity of understanding why people do what they do. People that are amazing at what they do too. Like I see someone like obviously him, and you're like, how? And then obviously we all have that curiosity of what's taking behind that.
Right.
So I think that the beginning of that is incredible, and being able to sort of utilize these things to, like what we're doing, share our experience, and hopefully someone will listen to it and feel, wow, I feel inspired by this, or this is someone that I can identify with outside of just the screen.
Exactly. There's a barrier there for a lot of like general audiences. And I saw it a lot during the strike where people would say like, oh, they're billionaires with all their money. And like, but it's like, no, they're people with jobs that they love.
Yeah.
And, obviously like acting is acting. It's not brain surgeon or nothing like that, but I come from the ilk of like arts are like very, very important. I got into a whole argument with my mom about like the importance of art.
They're like a lifeline. I think that
100%.
The concept of creating art, living, ingesting art is a lifeline.
They create the culture.
It also like gives you hope. I think that art is where we can expand to the unknown and live other people's experiences and step away from our world, whether that is a beautiful canvas and a piece of beautiful art, and you can see, a Klimt, you can watch the kiss, you can see the kiss and you just can be moved by it, or you can watch a silent film and just really be moved by what those people are experiencing. I don't know, like art has saved me many times.
Me too.
And time again, it really, when I feel hopeless, or when especially like in the middle of COVID, it really, watching films kept me living, like while I was not living. I was sitting just there losing life, because that's what was happening. Every day we're losing a day of life. And so many people that did. And you're just looking for a lifeline, and we can't minimize that arts give us that. So and that just, I think, comes back to when I'm going through really hard times within the industry, and because it is a really jarring business, and it just can take everything from you and then also give you everything, and it just keeps you in these super highs and these low lows. But yeah, I think just embracing the love of what you do, no matter what. But it must be something you really want, not because other people want it. It's because you want it. And if you want to be a motherfucking influencer, I'm here for you, girl. I will ride for you and as an influencer if that's what you want.
Yeah.
Not because everyone else is doing it, or because you think that because everyone else is doing it, it's cool. If you want to influence as an influencer, I will
have at it. Let's get
ride.
It. Yeah.
We ride a dawn for you. You know what I mean?
Yes.
As long as that makes you happy.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel about like the world. It's really easy to sit and judge and thinking this and that and this not cool and this not cool. The only thing we can be judging is AI. Outside of that, I think, you got to do what it makes you tick. But it is, I think we have to have empathy, and the world is in a really hard place.
Yes.
And that's why, I love movie theaters too. Like, it's these little places that we really still get to be a community and experience
one of the
something.
last places where we can do that. That concerts, like
Theater,
it's one of the last,
And like in concerts, people are on their phones.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
In theaters,
even that's in danger of that. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to be sort of in this quiet room, staring at a screen, watching a movie, and feeling as a one. And it's like it becomes a contagious experience. Like, even like movies, I've been to watch same movie different times, and every experience is different. And it's amazing because that just goes to show it's an emotional, contagious feeling. And so, I feel very proud that I'm making movies for movie theaters. Like the fact that In the Gray comes out this weekend, and then I Love Boosters comes out next weekend. I'm like, I'm really grateful, but I'm also like, let's bring back movie theaters.
Yeah, no. Listen,
and Yearning.
I'm right there. In Yearning and Cow Milking.
And Cow Milking. And Cursive.
And Cursive.
Yes.
Listen, that is what we can end the podcast on. We're going to put that on the wall when we get back. But I really need to tell you, like, as someone who was also saved by movies, like literally movies saved my life growing up in Compton, I did not know how to connect with people without like that little box and those little experiences and like learning like what the world was beyond like my front door. It was everything to me.
Right.
And like I know what it's like to, you know, for people like us, people of color, to like be in industries that are constantly shifting and almost seems like there's always like a goalpost that's being moved.
I always say that.
You know? And so, but you're operating on at your highest level right now, and I think you can go even higher. Like I know that there are people watching you, right? A Mexican woman in so many different types of movies, playing so many different types of characters in these films that are classics. We're talking Baby Driver, we're talking In the Gray, we're talking like I Love Boosters, right?
Yeah.
Like you don't see this all the time. This isn't normal, and you are at the forefront of that, inspiring people who's also sitting in their homes in that box who don't know how to connect with people other than like, oh, hey, I saw this really cool thing. Can I share this with you? And to sit here with you and like see you express that love, and the fact that you have 2 movies coming out and you have 2 opportunities to do that with new people, I think is beautiful.
Oh,
so like, I just want to let you know that you are
that is so sweet.
Everything you're doing.
Well, I appreciate it. And I think that if anyone can take anything out of this is like, you know, you were just a boy in Compton. I was just a girl in Mexico. And these big opportunities are not something that you would think would happen, but they happen. And if you have passion, if you believe in the things you do, always search for the yes. Don't give up. Inspire yourself. Believe. Live vicariously through art, and it'll give you inspiration to move forward in the hard days. That's how I just sort of carry myself through it, and it can happen to you. It can totally happen to you, and I will be cheering away because it's nice. It's nice to see the underdog win. I always love it. We love an underdog
We love the
story.
underdogs.
So yeah, and I really appreciate your time. You're so wonderful to
appreciate your
talk to. We
time.
could be here forever.
We really can. Everyone's in the back like, hey, let's get out of here. So thank you so much. I'm gonna send you some One Piece clips when this
I
whole
can't
thing
wait.
is done. I got you.
I'm gonna watch. I'm actually gonna watch the show now.
Oh, we got one.
You got one.
We got one.
Thank
you so much, everyone, for watching and or listening wherever you get your podcasts at, whether that be YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, that's the big one right there, or Apple Podcasts. And as always, can I be your movie guy?